Well, my friends, this one threw me off today. You see that person right there? At first, I didn't think too much of this, thinking, this guy just saw someone who kind of looks like Chris walking into Walmart, but lo and behold, there we go. You see that signature medallion just gleaming. You know that's Chris. But yeah, some dude captured Chris walking through his local Walmart, and at first I thought, these have to be old pictures, these have to be old videos, but apparently they're not, ladies and gentlemen. This was recorded today, May 1st, 2023. Now, this is probably to most people seemingly very inconsequential. You're like, dude, are you making a video of Chris Chan going to Walmart? And it's like, this wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't that this is the first sighting of him in almost 2 years. Now, about a month ago, the news had broke that Chris was released from jail, and people expected to hear from Chris almost that night. People expected Chris to jump back online, to be booting up a live stream, giving everyone the details of everything that happened, but that wasn't the case. We haven't heard a peep from Chris, and if you know anything about Chris, you understand just how crazy that is. So I think seeing him here, knowing that he's out in the public and all that, but he's not online, really does prove the point that one of the conditions for his release must have been that he has to stay off the internet. And I guess Chris is respecting that order. Now, most logically thinking people would would respect this court order, which is what I assume it is. But if you know Chris, then you know how wild it is that he's actually listening to these rules and everything. You'd assume that Chris would get out and just act like a spoiled child and be like, no, I need to get back online, I need to get back playing with my toys and all that. And the toys is actually, that whole situation is kind of interesting here, because you're about to see Chris's shopping cart soon, and it's pretty shocking what's in there, because if you know how Chris was before he got put in jail, that shopping cart would look a lot different than it does right here. So it seems like Chris is either growing up or he just can't have toys on him anymore, because you know damn well that 2 years ago, before Chris went into jail, there would be at least a minimum of 4 to 5 toys in this shopping cart. Chris would not be able to make a trip to Walmart without buying some Lego or some shit like that. But here we are. This looks like in there he's got a sparkly backpack. I don't know what that other thing in the back is. Maybe it's like a mini cooler. So Chris is he's buying the essentials. Chris is clearly here today simply, this clothes shopping, I guess. And there's really nothing interesting to this. I know people watching this might be going, why are we just watching a dude grocery shopping? What's so interesting about this? And I keep having to reiterate, it's only interesting that this is Chris, because this is, he looks really no different. I think that, remember we saw that picture and we were like, damn, he's lost a lot of weight. He doesn't look like that in this picture, and I'm not talking shit on him either. It's just facts. It's just really facts. A lot of people may say that, well, because he's put on a little more weight, that this may be an older picture. But at the same time, it makes me think that if he's here at Walmart, he can be out and about, and there's nothing stopping him from going to McDonald's or anything like that. And that's probably where he's been spending most of the money that he has. Now, let's be honest here. This is a very stark contrast from what we last saw Chris saying in all the letters, saying that when he got out of jail, the dimensional merge was going to happen, that he's God, that everyone should be praying to him. Well, here's God walking through Walmart on their daily gallivantings, just picking up, I guess, what they need for back at whatever home they're staying at. But it's good to see that Chris's mental, his psyche hasn't been changed that much, because he's still got that Sonichu medallion on. I feel like if we saw him and he didn't have the Sonichu medallion on, then we'd have a problem. Then something would be up. Now, as I've been recording this video, it's come out that this Walmart is in Midlothian, Virginia, which is a place Chris has mentioned before, and it's not too far from Charlottesville. It's in the Richmond area, and I believe that's where Chris was arrested, right? Chris was arrested around the Richmond area. And so I'd assume most of y'all, like myself, thought that once Chris got out of jail, he would run right back home. Charlottesville is really kind of just right up the highway. Why not just run up there? Well, it seems like he's not able to. As we've already talked about, one of the requirements for him being out is that he can't be on the internet. He's probably in some type of group home or some type of place around this area. Now, obviously, I don't think anyone should go look for Chris, try to seek Chris out. It seems like this guy who found Chris here was a completely freak occurrence while he was going into Walmart. But I do think it proves that Chris is somewhere away from home, and as we all know, he probably wants to just go right back there. But seemingly, even though he's so close, he can't, because, why would he be up here? I assume he has his car, but as I said, all this shit is not really confirmed. I'm kind of just learning about this as we go, because someone sent all this stuff to me. I heard it had been posted on Reddit, and now And now I see even Kiwi Tapes dropped a video on it, like so people are talking about this, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them because people have very much been wanting to know what's been going on with Chris since we heard that he got out of jail last month. And this being the update, like I said, it shows that people are really they're scrounging for that Chris content. They want it so badly. And even this sighting of him at Walmart is enough to be like, holy shit, stop the presses. Like, they found him. Now, I may be assuming a lot here, but I'm just thinking, because any picture we've ever seen of Chris out in public or anything, he always has his phone on him or, like, somewhere near him. And I'm surprised here there's been, like, you don't see him on his phone at all. Like I said, only a few pictures. Can you really tell that much from only a few pictures? But, then in this picture here, you see he's looking at what seems to be a list. And knowing Chris, that list would have firmly been in his, like, notes or something on his phone. But it looks like an actual, like, a hand-drawn list. So, again, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even have a phone on him. We've already talked about the apparent order that he's not allowed to be online, but I guess this also means that he can't have a phone. I assume they go hand in hand. Other than the time that Bob died, this is really Chris's, like, I guess his biggest excursion from the internet. And the only reason it's happening is because he's simply not allowed to be on it. And it shows Chris here, you know, even out in the real world. He's got his fucking Sonichu medallion on. I mean, it's still Chris. It's still Chris Chan, but without the influence of the internet. And maybe, some way, somehow, through everyone's opinions over the past, like, 20 years, he'll never change, maybe. If you keep the internet far away from him, if you keep people far away from him, maybe somehow Chris can change. But, you know, we'll have to see that. All we know right now is that Chris is at Walmart. And yeah, that's the big update. That's the main point of this video, is that Chris is at Walmart. Like, this is where we've come now. This is how far and how, like, starved people have been for Chris Chan content. I promised all the people out there that when an update happened, I'd update y'all, and here it is. Like, here, Chris is at Walmart. It's nothing spectacular. Chris isn't, like, spotted at, like, GameStop assaulting people again or nothing like that. It's very formal of Chris. He's just here doing his shopping, and I like I said, I think that's very I think it's a good sign. It's a good step in the right direction, knowing that Chris didn't just jump right back online, that he is out of jail, and he's actually, like even if it's by force, even if the government or whatever is like, yo, you can't have this, you can't have no phone, you can't have no internet access, it's for the best for Chris. Because obviously I know people want him on here making an ass out of himself like he always does, but he's been doing it for 20 years. I think there's nothing more interesting than seeing how Chris would genuinely react without the internet as, like, a factor in his life. I mentioned it earlier that the guy who took these pictures and all seemingly just ran into Chris at Walmart, but I mean, if he did, then he completely just forgot about his trip there whenever he needed, because it seems like he just walked around Walmart taking pictures of Chris everywhere he could. Chris probably noticed, but I highly doubt he said anything, because, like, there's a lot of pictures from a lot of different angles here. Like I said, this dude had to be working. I also have to mention how good of timing it is that Chris returned, like, on the 2nd anniversary of DSP's meat beating. Like, you know, I guess Chris didn't want to let DSP get all the spotlight today. It's also very interesting that Chris returns right after Ralph and his wife get divorced. So the curse of Chris Chan on Ralph really took effect, and now Chris is back here in the public. He's done all the work he needed to wherever he was in Quickville and all that shit, which is where I'd assume Chris still wants to be. Like, don't get it fucked up. I know I just was talking about how, like, Chris could change. Maybe we could see that. I mean, it's wishful thinking, because in that mind of that person you see right there, you know the only thing he's thinking about is, man, how sick would it be if, like, the doors in here just bolted open and a flash of yellow lightning ran right next to me and said, hey, Chris, like, you ready to turn into Chris Chan Sonichu and save the world? Like, and then he looks up at Mewtwo's there, but then he just snaps back to reality and he remembers, oh yeah, I'm in, like, the kitchen aisle at Walmart, and life isn't like that. He'll always think like that. I think even till the day Chris dies, he will think, like, in that that Quickville mindset where he's like the hero, everything's cartoons and all that stuff. It's something that he'll never rid himself of. And you can clearly see that because, I mean, he's still wearing the Sonichu medallion. I know, it's his personality. He's been doing it for God knows how long. But the fact that he's still wearing it, even after getting out of jail, they probably put a lot of work in trying to take that shit out of his mind, and didn't work. Didn't work because it looks like Chris hasn't missed a beat. But yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens now because I can't imagine updates are gonna be coming out like so quick that we're not gonna be able to handle ourselves. It's gonna be slow. Don't expect the Chris Chan stuff to ever really be what it once was, you know? I think a lot of people hold on hope that, like, someone's gonna troll him and do all this, but I think those days have come and gone. Other than this, there have been a few other things going on in Chris's life, or at least, like, surrounding Chris. Number one being that the Praetor released even more jail art from Chris, and, you know, we've covered it a lot in videos, but this new batch they put out, I talked about it in the video a few weeks ago. To me, it just doesn't look right. And I think a lot of other people have had their suspicions on it, too, that it's strange, you know? It seems like it probably is from Chris, maybe just the drawings, but maybe they're filling in the speech bubbles, I don't know. But now that Chris is out of jail, maybe he has no reason that he can't sell it on his own. Maybe not over the internet, but then again, I guess where else would he sell it? Like on a street corner somewhere? Like I don't know, like an arts festival? I don't know. This is obviously his best option here to sell it through these people. But yeah, the jail art just seemed a little weird. Didn't want to cover it. Didn't feel like it was necessary. But like I'm happy I didn't now because I would have hated to make a video talking about Chris's drawings and then this happened, the first sighting of Chris in almost 2 years. And there was also a debt hearing for Chris, but they found that he had no funds to pay the debt. Shocker. Like, absolute shocker. It's, you know, and I was wrong. In a video I had made a few weeks ago, again, I'd said something that Chris had apparently been accumulating his tugboat while in jail. Turns out that's actually not the case, because I assume if he was, they would have just taken that money. And even if not, people were telling me, yeah, like, once you go in there for, like, a sex crime and different things, they do not let you keep that. So that was my bad on that one there. And other than that, I mean, no one's really spotted Barb. We know Chris is out of jail now, and he probably does want to get back to that house, but he's just not allowed to. If you were Barb, you'd probably be shaking in your slippers right now, because it's knowing that Chris is back and he's out on the prowl, and knowing what he did just a few years ago, and even in the letters talked about that he didn't see any problem with it. So, you know, I highly expect that he still believes that he did nothing wrong, and that, like, you know, the thing with Barbara was just to keep her younger. His words, not mine. And yeah, we'll have to see where it goes from here. It's definitely a scary situation for Barb, if she even knows where she's at in general. So if anything more about this situation comes out, I'll most likely do a live stream sometime tonight or tomorrow, and we'll talk about this more there if there is anything else to talk about. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one today. I know it's a shorter video than most of my offerings, but like I said, how much can you really talk about Chris being in a Walmart for? As I previously mentioned in prior videos, the shoutouts at the end of the video are going to be sped up. I kind of sound like a chipmunk, but we've gotten to the point where now it reaches 7 minutes, and I do understand people's criticism with, damn, the shoutouts are almost half the length of the actual video. So I turned the speed up on the shoutouts a little bit, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoy this, because like I said, I sound like a chipmunk here for the next like 4 minutes. I even crack up when I hear it myself. So for everyone who got this far in the video and everyone who always supported, thank you so much. Thank you guys for always showing love on this channel. And yeah, I want to give shouts out to
Vanessa, Scaly Schisms, Churlish, Adrian Lara, Alright Stingy, Randy Leahy, Wade Pauls, Trademark, Commander Louie, Krabby, Justin S., the Ghostbusters fans, Steve from Machete Squad, Vaga, Count Drugula, SK Rux, Bullet BP, Synthesist, Fat Potato, Dan Noodles, Emery, ATK Cast, Jason Breen, Philly B, Based Trucker, Robot Gorilla Man, Soda Joe, Seal Currently, Eric Estrada, Everborn, Jurassic Clark, Akita's Beat Fan, Cowboy Pete, Hillbilly Wizard, Sora Trash, Hurricane Salem, Prideful Jester, Cyanide Candy, Smokey's Dealer, Kiwi Bros, Griffin Shivo, Austin Vidal, Club Doom, Sarah's Van, Gryphon, J Avarice, Tilted J, Cost Eye, Zangetsu Black, Jay Sorensen, Brady Gravy, GP Does, Super Comet Jizzler, Greg the Rich, TJ Traplordius, Grizzly Slug, Bob Skywalker, Just a Normal Bottle of Mustard, Ignatius Bartleby Arlington, Brazilian Dude, Snowshoes, Jelly, Black Meddler, Radon, MXAX, Isaiah, Dalton, Sky Fitzpatrick, Quantum Cat, Ronnie Willis, Grizzly Bear, Pubsy, Soul Reaper, Matt C, Manny, Boston Meadhorn, Sergeant Retro, The Red Scum, Barfunkel Shag Nasty, Pebra, Night Scraper, August Varney, Azrael St. Cloud, Nefarious, Cobra's Manky Tooth, Canadian Funkle, Skylar, Irma, Sleepy Sloth, Crushed Shadow, Viet Bong Vet, Logan Cole, Ja, The Mean Man Dan, Hod Toward, Coffee Moose, Dope and Smoke, What, Zuzu, Brandon, Kerma, Turgburglar, Marshall Rogers, Minty Smith, Mr. Smith from LCA, None Ya Business, Pun Pun, Unicorn is God, Bro Follow, Sloth Thing, Danny the Foot, Blue Sapphire, Protoshock, Spiral Colors, Jammer X, Pastor Arthur Montgomery, Brutal Strudels, Dirty J, TNUC, TAF, Ian Corrado, Sword Brother, Brock Lobster, Nomags, Guru, Pineapple Pussy, Nate F, Larry Fishmas, Mr. Muda, Patat, Mrs. Starscream, Empty Bat, Mary Mattingly, Doc 703, Josh Dayton, Based Milf Slayer, The Lolcow Lounge, GH Champ, Bizarre Showcase, Rexo, Neat Life, LEP 97, 100 Norwalls, Hoodiebra, Sludge Maniac, Night Shroud, Operator 5781, Bobby Queso, King of Town, Capybara Man, Dan Wolf, Draco the Golden, JB, Blackwing Gaming, Tiki's General Store, AB, Jeff Weber, Cherry, Joey Huey, Coonbender, Visual Vintage, Holly and Hell, Try Give Black Tiger, Alex Esco, Blueberry, Psycho, Sydney Jones, LB, Benjamin, Vault, Kairos, Big Jim, David June, Sparks Epsilon, Toxic Avenger, Dominic, Jamie Rose, Logan Whatnot, Sneakzies, Extra Zero, Clyde Cash's Cash Stash, Mr. Krabs, Rowdy Oni, Drunk Serval, Peace, Lieutenant Blackbutter, Ziamara Moo, Cromlock, Guru, Victor D, Sebastian, Maxing at the Fort, I Eat Bugs and Plants, Dane Justice, For Real, Anti-CK, Trash Boat, That One, Stacy Newbie, DJ Cannon, Big Bad Gruff, Toxic T, Sadie T, Bob, Meatman, Shannon Rose, Dead Barbarian, Vish K, Kanka the Great, Depraved Grapes, A Random Stormcloak, Wet Floor Coney, Reb Zoomer, Hot Wheels, Dylan W, Thunderbaze, Hunter Cobb, Talia, Nico Bellin, Spooky, Dougal Johnson, Buttworm Wilkins, Chrisia Guibel, I'm sorry for butchering that one, Quinn Quimson, Cowboy Woozy, Wendigo, Billy Bones, Ben Carson 2024, Hyena Man, Your Wife's Boyfriend, Tony Tokyo, Marissa, Peanut Mama, Antrust, CHX Carnage, Anton Levy, Rex 1 Kittles, Chat Creeper, Mr. Jinx, TARDIS, Full Thickness, Hashoop, Bimp Liskit, John Smithy, Cod Ranquin, Alex, BTF Nation, Shoop to Hoop, Chris Chan's Phantom Bottle Collection, Alexander, It's Sub, Old Man Bradley, Kira, The Mothman, Shekel, The Ghostbusters Fan, Nocturne, Kiwi Bay, Mint, Crafts and Cartoon, Corey Trevor, Calzone, Portuguese Horse, Weeaboo, Funky Weapon, Mage Hand, Slap Fight, Andrew Guest, Weetabix, Chewy, Linguini God, Brandon Williford, Super Comet Jizzler, Hunter B, Zepo, Dingbat, Raven, Horsepower Hour, Timbang, Metal Wolf, Irma, Coggles, Tequila Johnson, Young Voodoo, Your Boy B-Rob, Ephraim B, Crazy Kids, Laura Smith, Sharp Metal Edge, Sleepy Sloth, Project Spiral, Legendary Duelist, Vix the Pumpkin, Naz, WTF Wolf, Moo the Mogul, Kate, Mr. Spaghetti, Manbeast, Ja, Logan Cole, Some Frenchie, Shaggy Mane, Rated, Turtle Platoon, Alpha T, Plague, River Ranger, Frederick, B. Vinoich, Nappy Toast, The Black Bowser, Laura Fierce, JB Films, Ryan L, Avery the Wanderer, Shiloh, Robbie Mitchell, Pard in the Dust, Cario, Barbara Barbussy, Corrected Carlos, Was Dead, Alt Text Wolf, Burger Kerber, Your Psycho Ex-Girlfriend, Jackal, Kaito Mondrian, Bright Galaxy, Rodango, Artie Garcia, Jessica G, Bako, What, Wumpa, Brandon, Bard, Sinewave, The Zodiac, Sarah, Cow Wrangler, Conrad, Was Good, Ryan Tanner, Felix Fox, Deus Volter, Seraplex, Clear G, T-Jords, Big Burr, Fluffy, Soul Reaper, Hod Toward, Manny T, Makachi, Danny the Foot, and Let a Bitch Live.
You guys are all goats, and I always say everyone who made it to the end of this video, you're a goat as well. Thank you guys for all the support, and if anything else happens with Chris, like I said, you know I'll cover it. Chris, Cyrax on the second channel. Now, if you guys have been wondering where my Cyrax content has gone, it is on Smokeymcc 2. I'll have it linked in the description below. You guys can go check it out there. We're also going to be doing new Cyrax videos over there. YouTube has been hating the Cyrax content lately, so we're doing that. But yeah, Chris Chan, Cyrax, we got more Daniel Larson on the way, more Wings on the way, tons of stuff on this channel. I hope you guys have been liking it, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Have a great day.